no greater gift than your time, the fact that you're here supporting the Spartans and the incoming and outgoing command team really means a lot, so thank you. We want to start off, we don't get an opportunity to recognize our officers very often, and certainly not our company commanders. The expectation is they show up, they command on offense and lead day in, day out, and that's exactly what this man has done right here. So I've got the honor of presenting his PCS award on behalf of Brigadier General Thule, our Deputy Corps Commander. Before I do that, I do want to say a few things about Paul. I think by my math, Paul is the senior most company commander in the brigade right now, longest serving, been in the seat the longest, and really, we were talking yesterday, when you look at what the Spartans were, what 264 was when Paul took command, and what the company looks like now, two totally different pictures. And that doesn't happen overnight. That's almost 2 years of hard work, showing up every day, discipline, fit, taking the hard right over the easy wrong, setting and living high standards and enforcing that and demanding that from the team. And I'll tell you, as a commander myself, it's not a popularity contest, and sometimes it's a little lonely when you're the one that's holding hard to that standard. Fortunately, Paul had 3 outstanding first sergeants alongside him: First Sergeant Jimenez, Tercios, and Burnett. Critical to that, right? And it's stepping in the kitchen as well. So you can't do it alone. And I mean, every day Paul showed up ready to get after it. And so what is the reflection of the Spartan team right now as I see a bunch of lethal warfighters out here in the audience? It's that they're trained, they're disciplined, they're fit, and by my assessment, I think they are the most lethal company in the Tiger Battalion. When you look at it, when you look at the firepower they can bring to the decisive moment, that's it. And that doesn't just happen. You don't just show up and have a winning team. You got to put in the work and practice. And they've done that over the past 2 years here in Paul's tenure. There's discipline, leader time training, discipline PT, discipline orders process, troop leading procedures, PCCs, PCIs, pitching orders, doing AARs, working the training management piece hard. And you know, I can say it is one thing, but the proof is in the execution. When you look at their JRTC rotation with the Devil Brigade last year, when you look at the amount of maneuver live fires down in Fort Stewart this year, extremely professional, extremely lethal, and I know the team that's out here is ready to answer the call if and when that comes. And I would sure feel a lot better knowing that you're right there with me in a firefight. Right? You bring a lot to the fight. And when you look at that culture now, how many of you were here when Captain Ciabotti took command? Right? A few. Right? A little different picture. And you all had a part in that as well. So as we trained and continue to get better every day. So we want to recognize Paul for that. Certainly he didn't do it alone, and he'll be the first to tell you that. But it takes a commander to command on offense and continue to lead, especially when it gets hard. And Paul, you've done that. We're excited to see Paul transition on. He's going to go up to USACE in New York and help rebuild West Point probably after all that flooding up there last month. But we're excited to see him as he is an accomplished tactician, right? Incredible tactician and warfighter. He's going to learn some of the construction side of the business, project management side of the business as well. And I have no doubt he'll be back here at the center of the universe, leading soldiers and leading paratroopers again very soon. So with that, let's go ahead and post the order.
Attention to order. For exceptionally meritorious service while assigned as the company commander for the 264th Clearance Company, Captain Ciabotti's outstanding leadership and dedication to duty contributed to the unit's overall success. His professionalism is in keeping with the finest traditions of military service and reflects distinct credit upon himself, the 20th Engineer Brigade, the 18th Airborne Corps in the United States Army. Signed, Colin P. Thule, Brigadier General, USA, Deputy Commanding General.
We're supposed to, they just clapped, that's awesome. They're going to be like that the whole time, so thank you for your patience. And, you know, as this is, you know, both an award for, you know, company command and then also my time, you know, in the 20th Engineer Brigade, it was a pretty good. It was a very tough time. Starting on brigade staff, a lot of long nights there. So for any of these young, for any of these young captains here, starting off on like brigade staff, just know like you're going to be here sooner than later, and it's all going to be worth it because when it ends with you standing in a room with all of your soldiers, with smiles on their faces, like this is what it all comes down to. I've had some awesome leaders come up to me this last week and say like, hey, it was great serving with you. That's why we all serve. It just makes it all worth it. So thank you very much.
Standard command ceremony for the 264 Clearance Company 27th Engineer Battalion. Today, the 264 guidon will be passed from Captain Ciabotti and Captain Mansaray. Distinguished guests for today's ceremony are Colonel Hurley, 20th Engineer Brigade Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Pope, 27th Engineer Battalion Commander, Command Sergeant Major Wilkins, 27th Engineer Battalion Command Sergeant Major. We would also like to welcome family, friends, commanders, first sergeants, and all other members of the 20th Engineer Brigade that could attend today's ceremony. The host for today's ceremony is Lieutenant Colonel French Pope, the commander of the 27th Engineer Battalion. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by Chaplain Helm and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Let us pray. Lord, we're just grateful for this day and everything it represents, and for the opportunity to recognize a blessing that you've given us, Lord. Today we're recognizing Captain Ciabotti as he finishes his time in command, a man that is rightly loved by his family and rightly loved by his soldiers. And we know that's not on accident, that's a gift from you, Lord. And so we just pray over him and his family as they move forward in life, that you be with them and you guide their steps as you have so far, and he continues to be a blessing to those he leads. For the incoming Lord, Captain Mansaray, I pray you do the same, that you guide him, you direct his steps, that he can be a good leader, he can take care of your people, Lord, and that you give him the strength to do what he must, the wisdom to know how, and the character to do it honorably. We just give you thanks for all these things. In your name, amen. Amen.
Please take your seats. At this time, the 264 Clearance Company will honor the families of the outgoing and incoming commanders. Specialist Via is presenting a bouquet of red roses to Miss Stephanie Ciabotti. The roses symbolize the love of the soldiers for the First Lady of the 264 Clearance Company as she departs us. A single red rose is being presented to his daughter Maggie, and a company coin is being presented to his son Aaron as a simple token to remind them that they will forever remain in our hearts and memories. At this time, Specialist Archer Rye is presenting Miss Erica Mansaray with a bouquet of yellow roses. The yellow color symbolizes the beginning of a new relationship with the soldiers and families of the 264 Clearance Company. Company coins are also being presented to Captain Mansaray's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Mansaray, and his brother, Captain A.J. Mansaray. to recognize the new commander is rooted in military history dating back to the 18th century during the reign of Frederick the Great of Prussia. At that time, organizational flags were developed with color arrangements and symbols unique to each particular unit. To this flag and its commander, the soldiers of the unit would dedicate their loyalty and trust. When a change of command was to take place, the flag was passed to the individual assuming the command and then passed to the senior ranking NCO for safekeeping. This gesture was accomplished in front of the unit so that all could see and witness their new leader assuming their dutiful position. The commander who held the flag also held the soldiers' allegiance. This symbolic tradition has survived throughout military history and is continued today at the change of command for the 264 Clearance Company. The 27th Engineer Battalion Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Pope, will now oversee the transfer of the guidon. The change of command ceremony is a simple tradition that runs deep in symbolism and heritage. The key to the change of command is the passing of the unit guidon. The guidon not only represents the heritage and history of the unit, but also stands for the unity and loyalty of its soldiers. The custodian of the guidon is the first sergeant who passes the guidon, and all it represents to the outgoing commander for the last time. The outgoing commander then relinquishes his command by passing the guidon to the battalion commander, who is the senior in the chain of command. The battalion commander then passes the guidon and hence the command to the incoming commander. This time-honored process is complete when the incoming commander passes the guidon to his first sergeant, charging him with maintaining the symbol of command. In accordance with Army Regulations 600-20, paragraph 2-5 Echo, the undersigned assumes command of the 264 Clearance Company, effective 11 August 2023, signed Idris A. Mansaray, Captain, Engineer, Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 27th Engineer Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Frank Ciabotti.
All right, distinguished guests, Colonel Hurley, friends and family, Tiger Battalion, Spartan Company, thank you for attending today's ceremony. I would like to first offer a special welcome to the families of the ingoing and outgoing commanders. First, we'll start with Paul's family, Paul's wife, Steph, and kids, Maggie and Aaron. Aaron, I think he's in the back. There's a T-Rex somewhere. I don't know. I haven't seen him right now, but it's all good. Thank you for your support over the past 2 years. Your dedication to the company and the battalion FRG. Every best wish for you and your move to New York. You're joining your family up there in Houston, and where your parents Ruth and John you'll be meeting up with. Also, thank you to mother-in-law Alicia for making the trip out to the ceremony today. Finally, our latest Tiger team member, Idris. We'll like to thank Idris' wife, Erica. Congratulations and welcome to the Tiger team. Thank you also to Idris' parents, Isha, Idris Sr., right? As well as his brother AJ for making the trip out to the ceremony on this special day as he takes on this exciting role. Tisha and I are excited for you to have the family and get to know you. This is a significant moment for both officers in their careers and their families. Thank you all for your commitment to soldiers, and there is no doubt that the soldiers standing before you are proud to serve with you and should be. We're here today to celebrate the accomplishments of the soldiers of the 264 Clearance Company who clear the way daily. Bittersweet, but we will pass the mantle of leadership from Captain Paul Ciabotti to Captain Idris Mansaray Jr. today. Captain Ciabotti has commanded the Spartan Company with distinction over the past 21 months. Here's a couple of things that the Spartan Company has done over those past 20 months. So they've done 10 weapons qualification ranges. We talked about low lethality during the awards ceremony. 3 field training exercises, 6 live fire exercises. The Spartans did that while being on the outload support element mission, which included the initial issue of ammunition for 2 divisions for deployments. They completed 2 DREEs, which is a deployment readiness exercise, as well as 1 real-world deployment for 18th Airborne Corps when they deployed out to the Yukon AOR. He proved that, this is a learning organization through his self-study and seeking advice from senior leaders and mentors from Fort Liberty as well as Fort Stewart, as he took the company out and did 12 gun crew certifications down in Fort Stewart, which is pretty significant. That's what we talked about, why this is one of the most lethal companies in the brigade. Additionally, Captain Ciabotti successfully led the 264 Clearance Company to JRTC rotation, where he supported 1st Brigade 82nd Joint Forcible Entry into a contested area, providing key mobility, counter-mobility, and survivability support. Captain Ciabotti impacted 820 soldiers when he closely monitored their actions as they participate in the Brigade of Holistic Health and Fitness, also known as H2F, as the battalion's working group officer in charge, spreading the best practices for soldier performance, health, and fitness. Additionally, Captain Ciabotti left a lasting impact on his soldiers, the climate, and culture within the company. He built a dependable, mission-ready team that never failed to deliver success in the 20th Engineer Brigade and the 18th Airborne Corps. Paul, know that the Sappers are trusted, reliable, lethal, and ready to enable the brigade anywhere and anyhow because of your leadership. The future of this nation continues to have hope because of your influence and your ability to breed amazing servant leaders. Captain Mansaray. He is no stranger to the 20th Engineer Brigade. He spent the last 20 months rowing hard up in the brigade staff and the logistics section, resourcing the brigade across the eastern seaboard. Idris is the right leader at the right time to continue the upward trajectory of the company. Idris, I look forward to working with you and seeing you grow and flourish as a commander. To First Sergeant Burnett, to the Spartan soldiers, you absolutely look fit and ready to fight. I'm proud of the family that you are, to the soldiers sitting next to you, for the most part, standing next to you, as well as the families that are supporting us from behind the scenes. Command Sergeant Major and I, Command Sergeant Major Wilkins and I are encouraged daily by your actions and commitment to the soldiers in this formation. Thank you for all that you do. Tigers, no better teammate than a Castle Brigade soldier. Get there, clear the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander of the 264 Clearance Company, Captain Paul Ciabotti.
Colonel Hurley, Lieutenant Colonel Pope, Command Sergeant Major Wilkins. I think I'll add it in here because he probably hasn't had it yet. Command Sergeant Major Retired Munoz. Family and friends, thank you for attending today's ceremony. I know drives and flights can be expensive, but it really means the world to me that you're all here. Before taking the guidon of 264, I was briefed by some key leaders on the company and made some assessments on my own. I'm sure Idris can attest that while inventorying 70 pages of property, you hear what the soldiers are saying, you can kind of pick up what the climate is like. What I learned was that the soldiers were eager to train, and unfortunately, they felt like they were the outcasts of the battalion. Hearing this, my goal quickly became to provide these hungry soldiers with a fast-paced, realistic let's-go training calendar and provide them all the opportunities that they believed were held from them. And this is when the job got fun. Over the last 2 years, the Spartans completed multiple rifle ranges, machine gun ranges, mounted and dismounted live fires, mounted MG gunnery, and a JRTC rotation. In between all this training, the Spartans developed themselves. The company sent 41 individuals to airborne school, with 30 of them graduating almost in the same class. This resulted in over half of the company becoming airborne qualified, multiple leaders attending and graduating from Sapper School, Yoga School, Air Assault, and even one weirdo who went to Spies and Fries somehow. Your Spartans pushed through every single invisible ceiling that was placed in front of you. You created a new standards for yourself. Never forget all the hard work and keep pushing. In June this year, 264 composed a color guard team that would have the honors of casing the Fort Bragg colors and uncasing the Fort Liberty colors for the first time. Sergeant Casey and Sergeant Harvey, don't forget about what an important part of history you really are. Undoubtedly, developing platoon leaders was one of the best parts of my job. Of all the coaching moments with my 12 lieutenants, I feel I must share at least two for some fun. A short 13 months ago, a young Nikhil Patel came to 264 excited to lead and ready to kill. Unfortunately, West Point didn't teach him the importance of comms or a good base plan. Upon receiving a mission at the battalion FTX, Patel felt it necessary to SP with degraded comms and shortly lost comms with my CP. This mission was going to be a great time for me to do some coaching to Lieutenant Patel. My driver and I quickly found his convoy and popped a couple red smokes to simulate cat kills. His platoon sergeant's truck and Husky were out. I watched his world fall apart around him. His platoon and him grew very, very close after this event, and I'm sure he's thinking about it right now at Sapper School. Story number 2. As a more senior PL at JRTC, I wanted to give George Horianis the freedom to make his own calls on the ground and allow him to develop his own tactical plan. During the rotation, a mission for a low water crossing reconnaissance came up. I had just the platoon, George's. On this cold, rainy Louisiana night, I brought George into the CP, issued an op board, and told him I was tagging along. And finally, I strongly recommended a dismounted 4K movement. As a senior PL, George quickly disregarded my recommendation and got his RG-31s buried to the axle. This was a long, cold, rainy night, and another lesson was taught. Shout out to 264's maintenance team for saving the day. Idris, now you understand the shortage for that chain on the record. To some thank yous. First Sergeant Mendez, I couldn't have asked for a better teammate as a new commander. You set this company on a new trajectory, all while funding and replacing the cost interior. Sergeant First Class Tercios, your timing couldn't have been better for you assuming the role. Your tactical knowledge was absolutely pivotal in our success at JRTC. First Sergeant Burnett, still not sure how we actually became a command team together, but it's been an absolute blast. You're a phenomenal mentor, teammate, and a loyal best friend. Thank you for your efforts this last year, making 264 better than ever. Stephanie, the last 2 years have not been easy on us. I counted roughly 50 weekend SIRs set between the hours of 2100 and 07. You're on a much better path, 264. Thank you for being the wife that every commander wishes they had. Maggie and Aaron, oh, now they're both gone now. I can't wait for our new assignment and to make up for lost time. Idris, I have no doubt that the company is going to be great in your hands. Keep up the motivation and don't be afraid to reach out. First Sergeant's going to keep you on glide path and you'll have this thing figured out in no time. Spartans, again, it has been the most rewarding time in the Army to serve with you. Thank you for your service, dedication to your country. To do all things well, get there. Spartan 6, signing off the net.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 264 Clearance Company, Captain Idris Mansaray.
Hey, honestly, I can't follow that. Captain Ciabotti done an amazing job. Let's give him another hand. I got you out here for the next 45 seconds time meeting. Good morning, Colonel Hurley, Command Sergeant Major Arroyo, Second Colonel Pope, Command Sergeant Major Wilkins, distinguished guests, friends, family. Thank you for attending today's ceremony. Colonel Hurley and Lieutenant Colonel Pope, thank you for giving me the opportunity to command the 264th Clearance Company. It's truly an honor. Paul, I couldn't have asked for a better person to set the example when it comes to commanding. You've also got great hair. I wish you and Stephanie the best of luck in New York. Mom, Dad, and the better looking, obviously, Captain Mansaray. I just want to say thank you for all the support and love over the years. To my amazing wife, Erica, boy, do you put up with a lot. I just want to say I love you and thank you for always being my shotgun rider. You're the best. To the rest of my family, mentors, co-workers, friends, thank you. And finally, to the Spartans, thank you for welcoming me to your team and putting in the hard work during inventories. All I ask is that you give me your absolute best each and every day, and we can accomplish great things together. Get there, to do all things well, Spartan 6, signing on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Engineer and Army Song.
And so on my collar, I've done my training for the team. You can call me an engineer soldier, the warrior spirit has been my dream. Stay on, whether in war or peace, we will bear victory. We're the Army and proud of our name. We're the Army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build a nation's might. And the Army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won. And the Army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the Army's on its way. Count off the cadence loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the Army goes rolling along.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's change of command ceremony. Thank you for attending. Please join us at the 264 call for refreshments.
Picture with all your family, sir? Yes, please. You don't mind?
He's gonna have it on video. This time